Okay, so in about 10 days, Ghana will be 60 years old. One man who led the fight is Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and today is exactly 51 years since that great man, or Sergeant for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, was overthrown by the military coup police junta, the National Liberation Council. Now, Dr. Nkrumah was instrumental in the fight for Ghana's independence, and we want to find out from the party that he founded, that is the Convention People's Party, how they intend to celebrate this particular man. And I would want to, we have already been joined in studio by one of the key leaders of the CPP, that is Hajia Hamdatu Ibrahim. She is the first vice chair of the CPP. Good afternoon, madam. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good afternoon to you, Matthew, and your cherished viewers.
All right. 51 years on of Dr. Nkrumah's overthrow. Is there anything to celebrate or to mark? How are we marking this?
Well, thank you very much. 51 years today, yes. We just finished commemorating the day at the party headquarters, led by our chairman and leader, Professor Edmund Dele, who briefed the press concerning what transpired that day. You know, some of us were not there, so we couldn't, unless of course we read what others wrote, and then maybe what our parents told us, what happened that particular day, because my parents were very actively involved in the CPP, so I've learned from them and also read. Today we are commemorating, we did it at the party headquarters, and then we, just to throw more light on what really happened, we see it as a Ghana day of shame, the day Ghana was thrown into darkness. That is why the development of this country was tough, because if it's anything at all, if you look at the way Nkrumah started the development agenda of this country, only for him to be overthrown. If you recall, he only ruled this country for 9 years, and look at the way he the development, he transformed the economy, and he was just on the path of sort of giving us an economic independence when the reactionaries, people who didn't want the forward march of this country, decided that, oh, he's away from this country.
A total angel, as they want us to perceive? Because
nobody is saying Nkrumah is an angel. People were part of the overthrow of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah when they didn't know the man properly. It was just based on speculations. The man is a dictator, he's this, he's that. Even those who were part or who even orchestrated his overthrow regretted. If you recall, when the Akosombo was built, Matthew, people thought it was run by the white man, only for them to go there. We were told, some people even had to put their hands on their heads to say, wow, so this is being run by purely Ghanaians. That was the dream of Kwame Nkrumah. That is why we're always saying that Kwame Nkrumah never dies. Then people laugh. They say, why are CPP saying that Kwame Nkrumah? Because of the good ideas, the agenda.
Has the party, apart from, marking the day and saying that it's a day of shame for Ghana, throwing away such a leader or overthrowing such a leader who had such vision, how else do you think we should celebrate or mark the day?
Most of the young generations don't really know much about Nkrumah and what he did. So as a party, we are putting certain things in place, led by our Director of Party Education, to really conscientize the youth of this country, people who are interested in knowing much about this man who led this nation for just 9 years, and we saw all the development and transformation from upper regions to Elebo, so that the good people of this country will begin to understand why some of us are in the CPP. That is why we continue to celebrate this man. Well, we wouldn't have a party, or we just told the good people of Ghana what Nkrumah did and how he was overthrown. He was sent for a peace mission. How can somebody going to look for peace in another country be overthrown in his absence? So, they were only cowards.
We'll come back to finalize this interview by asking the kind of legacy he's left behind and how that is shaping the present CPP. But one of the key Nkrumahs we also know in the latter days is Kwesi Pratt Jr. He is also the leader of the Socialist Forum. He has also been sharing his thoughts on the 51-year anniversary of the overthrow of Dr. Nkrumah. Let's hear what he had to say.
51st anniversary of the overthrow of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and we are currently in the offices of the Freedom Center. We are going to be speaking to one of Ghana's illustrious sons, who is also a Pan-Africanist and an Nkrumahist. His name is Comrade Kwesi Pratt. Mr. Pratt, can you tell us, the impact of the demise of Nkrumah, or the overthrow of Nkrumah, on Ghana as we speak now?
It is indeed a day of great shame, because we failed to protect our leader. We failed to protect our teacher. We failed to protect the one who led the national liberation struggle throughout Africa south of the Sahara. And we failed to prevent the overthrow of a person who taught us that Africans can enjoy their independence and they can unite and build a great nation that will lead the world in civilization, science, and all. That is why today is a very big day of shame for Africans everywhere.
What about those who say that Nkrumah wanted to create a one-party state? He wanted to become a benevolent dictator, which, the people in Ghana at that time didn't really see that as the way forward for our country.
That's standing history on its head. After the 1966 coup, the Convention People's Party was banned from participating in the politics of this country. And socialist parties, progressive parties, were not allowed to function. The Progressive People's Party, the Popular People's Party, which was formed by Johnny Hanson and Lutrod, was banned by the same people who claimed that they believed in multi-party democracy. You understand? The CPP was also banned. K. Bedema, even after having won elections, there were machinations to remove him from parliament and so on. So that's just some bit of gibberish that people want to distort history with and so on.
How relevant will the policies of Nkrumah be in today's Ghana?
Well, Nkrumah's policies are very simple. They just teach us that we have to rely on ourselves for the production of our food, that Africans are not inferior to any race, and that we can build our educational institutions, we can develop our agriculture, we can compete in the development of science and technology everywhere. Nkrumah teaches us that we ought to be proud of who we are as Africans. We've got to wear African, eat African, live African. Nkrumah teaches us that exploitation in any form is inimical to the development of any society. These are the lofty ideas that Nkrumah teaches us.
All right, so that's my colleague Ni Okojani in that interview with Kwesi Pratt Jr., Comrade Kwesi Pratt Jr. of the CPP and then the Socialist Forum. So let's come back in studio and conclude on this interview. And quite briefly, Madam Hajia Hamdatu Ibrahim, she's the first vice chair of the CPP. I would want to know what kind of impact, probably positive impact, that Nkrumah's, maybe his overthrow or his entire reign as the leader of the country, what kind of impact is it having on the present day CPP?
Well, some of us are in the CPP because of what we've read about Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So if you ask me about the impact, most of us learned much about Nkrumah through the CPP. That's why we are there. Some of us, if we are even parading ourselves as members of the CPP, people ask us, what have you seen in the CPP and you are there? Why don't you join this bigger party? I don't see any big party in the country like the Convention People's Party. Really? Yes, of course.
But how is that translating in our body politics?
This is what, Martin, you asked me a question, and I said we are trying to address those issues by trying to conscientize Ghanaians. Educated, you were telling me of
Yes,
it will get there.
Really?
We'll soon get there, because I'm positive. Because we have the solution to the problems of this country. Look at our energy crisis. When Nkrumah was talking about atomic energy, the Americans anyway didn't even think about it. When Nkrumah was talking about African unity, EU, and they didn't think about uniting, and so on and so forth. So the man was ahead of his time. So it takes people like us who believe in what Nkrumah stood for to really understand. So it's just a gradual process. Some people are reading the books. The CPP has become so attractive. Even the youth, the younger ones are more than those of us who are crossing the middle age to go to the old age. You see, you understand. So if it's anything at all, we'll get there.
Do you see a potential Nkrumah with the kind of ideals, the vision in your current party?
Why not?
You have someone like that, or you have a group of people like that?
I'm one.
Okay.
I'm one of them. Because we mean well for this country. You see, because of this NPP, NDC business, people will say, if I vote for the CPP, the last election I was telling people that, why don't you waste your votes this time to vote for the CPP? Because you've been wasting your votes and you don't even get what you are asking for. You understand? So if it's anything at all, if you don't give us the mandate, the chance to really show you what Nkrumah really did, and some of us still believe that the solution to this country is to revisit what Nkrumah did and what he wrote down. He is the only leader in the African continent who has written so many books, and that people need read and get encouraged. People are learning Nkrumah outside the shores of this country as a subject, writing the thesis, coming to our party headquarters to find out. Meanwhile, Ghanaians, you have it here, and
we also need to do a lot more. Thank you very much, Hajia Hamdatu Ibrahim, First Vice Chair, Convention People's Party, and we're just marking the 51st anniversary of Dr. Nkrumah's overthrow. Great visionary, legendary leader. May his soul rest in peace. In 10 days, Ghana is marking its 60th anniversary. TV3 is preparing a special package in terms of coverage for you. You would want to stay with us. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you.
And we wish the CPP well. This is still Midday Live on TV3.